How are you doing, Lou? Are you guys getting ready for next weekend? I'm sure she is.
I would imagine.
Yeah. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee with a Cowgirl. I'm Brett Kruger. I'm excited too, Lou. I'm Brett Kruger. I'm excited to be joined with Carrie Arnston from Pelican Rapids, Minnesota this morning. I'm so happy that she said yes to doing this with me. Carrie is a professional barrel racer. She is a cowgirl boss babe. She's a mom, a fierce competitor, many other things, I'm sure. But I'm really happy that she said yes to today because I'm excited to pick her brain on a few things. I'm going to let Carrie introduce herself here. Carrie, do you want to say hello to everyone and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hello, everybody. I'm Carrie Arnston. I own Spotlight Performance Horses. I train a variety of different horses, mostly more so barrel horses, but I build a good foundation so that they are able to do anything. I stand a couple stud horses here. I have a handful of brood mares, raise some babies, and grow them up and put them in performance homes and stay very busy doing all of it. So,
Carrie, how many horses do you have in training there?
I think I have 11 right now.
Wow. So do you break out all your own colts too then?
Sometimes I do about half of them, and I've got a gal that helps me that don't live too far away. So, she
Nice.
helped last year. She helped with a couple, and I'm hoping this year she'll help with a few more. So
So
that's the
your
plan.
focus, Carrie, your focus in the barrel horses, a lot of the young horses, right? As far as futurities and stuff?
Yes, yep.
Okay.
And just making a solid all-around horse, something that can go on more than just the futurities and go to the open barrel races and the rodeos. They just got to be well-rounded. I want them to be able to go out and work cows and go on a trail ride and go to the barrel pen and be successful at all of it.
That's what I love too. I love those horses that can do it all and do it all well. I met Carrie a couple weeks ago at Straight Rail Ranch, which is where she trains out of. I met Carrie at our Top Hand Cowgirl Challenge along with her daughter Grace. And I watched Carrie compete all weekend and went and talked to her afterward and was just super impressed. I'm super impressed with the person that Carrie is. She's just a super nice person who
Thank you.
wants the best for everybody, which I admire first and foremost about any competitor, any professional, good people, or people in general, I guess.
Right.
And then after talking with Carrie, what I really truly love about her the most is that she's a professional, and it doesn't matter if you're a professional, folks, or if you're a novice or you're an amateur. Stepping out of your comfort zone is not easy, and I feel like it's a mental game, don't you, Carrie?
For sure. Yes. Absolutely. It's something you don't just walk into. You got to think about it and prepare yourself a little bit, and don't let it bother you though. Don't let it get you down. Don't let it take you away from it.
I agree, and I feel like that mental of getting out of your comfort zone is so many competitors' biggest hurdle. But after talking with Carrie, I knew right away that she's not scared of the uncomfortableness that comes with stepping outside of your comfort zone. She embraces it. She does not see the failures. She sees only the growth of the opportunity that she can get, not only from her horses, but herself as a rider. And I love that because I feel like so many of the people that are, and myself included, around me, so many of the people that listen to this, so many of the people who come to our events, so many of the people who we do business with on a daily basis, they have those fears. And hearing Carrie's story, being able to ask her questions and see how she handles that and how um, she benefits from it, I think, are what I'm so interested in hearing. And I love that. I love that after just talking with you for 10 minutes, I knew that you embraced the uncomfortableness of everything. And I want to share that, because there's not a lot of professionals, honestly, Carrie, who are willing to step outside of their comfort zone because they don't want to fall on their face
in front of everybody.
In front of everybody. Yeah.
Right.
So, talk to me a little bit about that, about your mindsets and how you grew up, how that maybe shaped what you do today in the arena, and why you do have that mindset of embracing the uncomfortableness of trying something new.
You know, when I was younger, I would say that trying something new was very uncomfortable for me. It was very hard for me to do. I hated failing, but with failing came growth, and my horses grew from it. I grew from it. Everything got better. I learned how to handle it, and now it's like I just go out there and obviously my horses didn't have a clue what to do in the cattle events at the top hand. I went out and made the best of it. Did we place? No, but did we have fun? Absolutely. My horses got to try it. I learned something from it. I learned how to handle the cattle, and hopefully next time it'll go a lot better. I guess I don't worry about it. I also don't worry about who's there watching or who I'm competing against. I'm competing against myself. It's just me and my horse, and that's the only thing I worry about.
That's what I was just going to ask you, Carrie, like, to get in that mindset, like, you have to have something that you think of when you go into something new. Like, what goes through your head to, like, I don't know how to say it, I guess. What goes through your head when you're going into something new, and like the cattle events? Like, you have to have a goal in mind, I'm assuming, not because it's something new for you. So what goes through your head?
I just want to go out there and be as correct as I can, and not rush things, and not get carried away, and just try to do right by my horse and not cause any frustration. And if it happens, it happens. It is the way it is, because I haven't practiced it. I didn't know those events. Same thing like when I go to a futurity. A few years ago, I had a pretty decent futurity horse, and went out, and when I'd go to the event, a couple of girls I was hauling with, they're like, "Oh, did you see who's all on the draw?" And I'm like, "No, didn't even look." I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about me and my horse. I just try to get rid of that anxiety that would, make it hard to compete. I don't worry about it.
So, talking about that, and is that something that you practice on, like, when you go to any competition? What are some of your rituals? Not looking at the draw, is that one of them?
Yeah, I don't worry about who's there. I don't look at the draw. I don't. I just go out there and show my horse where he's got to go, and look at the ground, look at the pattern, and make my plan. And that's all that I worry about, is what me and my horse are going to do.
What are some other rituals that you do before a show, maybe for yourself or with your young horses? Because I know that you're working a lot of them. So what are you doing to gain the confidence for them and you?
I like to kind of stay by myself right before I'm going to be in an event. I like to spend some time with my horse, and just get that good connection before we go in there and compete. More so just some alone time with my horse and myself. Quiet.
So do you tend to stay away from the people?
Yes, I do.
I do that sometimes too, and I like to just be by myself, and I'm not normally that person. So then I always get so many people coming up to me asking me if I'm mad. I'm like, no, I'm not mad. I just
I've had that too.
You get that too?
Yeah, I've had that too. I'm like, no, I need my thinking time before I got to prepare myself before my event or my competition or whatever it is. Like, I just need to just step away and just think.
Yeah, just be in the moment and get focused on what you're about to do. I love that. Talk about some of the routines that you do on a daily basis with your young horses to get them ready for competition, because I know that you don't just drill them on the barrels.
I don't really drill the barrels much at all. I do a lot of horsemanship stuff, and taking them out riding. If my horse can lope circles around a rock out in the field, or a tree, or a stick, or a different clump of dirt, and I can place his feet where I want to place them, I can do it in an arena. It's more so just having a broke solid foundation kind of a horse.
For any event.
Any of them, any event, any horse, every
Yes.
horse, every day.
Well, I think I'm not much of a fan for trail riding because I had a super bad accident when I was young. And I found with COVID that I love riding the section. I love going in straight lines. I love loping and trotting my horses just straight because it keeps their mind off of the arena and going in a circle. It keeps their mind off of the same old thing all the time. And I'm guessing that with those barrel horses too, that it is so good to have that because your ground is different every time.
Right.
Yep. And the crowd and all of the things that can make them, just shell shocked, being out in the fields, wherever you're going, has to be so good for them mentally because it exposes them to different things.
Right.
I love that. Sorry here.
No worries.
Let's talk more about, well, I know that you do a ton of clinics and that probably just goes back into the horsemanship part of it because you take a lot of clinics that don't necessarily have anything to do with barrels at all.
Right. And putting a foundation on a horse, no matter what it is, will set them up for any event. So if you got a foundation where all you have to do is control their body, and if you can control their body, you can pretty much place them in any event. Some of them might be better at barrel racing, some might be better at roping, some might be better at sorting, some might be a little more cowy, or some might just want to be a trail horse. But they have to have a foundation to go back to. If they don't, things fall apart. What do you do?
I noticed you've got really good face on your horses. They bend really nicely. And well, you have to have face, otherwise you can't do a lot of things.
Right. And not only that, the soundness of a horse when they're traveling incorrectly over time wears on them. Horses aren't meant to carry us around and do the things that we do with them. So, you end up with back trouble. You end up with sore hocks and stifles and all this other stuff. The more correct your horse is, the less vet bills you're going to have.
Agreed. One of the things that I did not know about you, and I might take away what you were going to say for your unique thing, but we talk a lot about growing up on here and what your past might have looked like. And one thing that I did not know about you, Carrie, is you did not come from a horse family.
No, we had horses, but they were just some farm horses. They weren't like specialized in anything. I grew up on a dairy farm. I had cows. I bottle fed calves. I scraped pens. I milked cows. All those things that go along with being on a family farm, putting up hay and silage and yeah. I did not grow up training horses.
You use that work ethic to fuel your passion for sure. As we talked last night, you said that I was riding horses all hours of the day, every day. And I was making the mistakes to figure it out, right?
Yep. I made plenty of mistakes and I learned from them.
You're probably still making mistakes today, right?
Yep. And that's why I still go to a lot of clinics. My journey's not done. I will continue to go to several clinics every year, and I'll learn something from every one that I go to.
The day that my husband always says this, the day that I have it all figured out is the day that I'll have to quit. Because you never will have it figured out. Even him, he's a professional too. He audits a lot. He gets up really early in the morning, and when like we were in Arizona, he was going to the cuttings and just watching the pros practice in the practice pen, seeing how they move their feet.
That's exactly what I do. If I'm at a really big barrel race, like I went down to the Pink Buckle last fall, and I'd get up and I'd go watch all the other futurity trainers exhibition their horses and ride and warm up, and I just sit in front of the warm up pen and watch and just learn from it.
Learn from it. That's what he says. Like he does get so excited because he's like, God, I went and watched them in the practice pen and how they move their feet. He's like, I can't wait to get home and try it on this horse. I think that that'll really help.
Right.
I seen what they were doing to get face, or I seen how they were getting their stops, just taking away small little nuggets of information. And but that goes back to your passion and your hard work ethic. Like you're just not willing to ever give up
Right.
on learning. In the
Always
end,
something you can learn.
absolutely. But in the end, your drive to learn and figure out and do different things is what makes you talented and helps your horses evolve and become the individuals that they are.
For sure.
Yeah, I think there's definitely something to be said for it doesn't matter what discipline that you're in. If you do the same thing over and over and over every day, you're going to get burned out. Your horses are going to get burned out. So
Right.
I love that about you, Carrie. Going back to that, growing up on a dairy farm and making yourself a professional horsewoman and cowgirl badass. Talk about how you got where you are today from the dairy farm.
When I was probably 15, 14, 15, as soon as I got my farmer's permit, I got a job, started making my own money, and I worked at home on the farm. I actually went and got a loan at the bank when I was a little kid and bought my first barrel horse.
How old were you?
I think I was 15, maybe 16, but my dad co-signed on a loan and I bought a very expensive barrel horse. To me it was $8,500, and my dad was like, "You are crazy." I'm like, "Yeah, well, this is what I want to do." So then with that horse, I started going to a lot of clinics and taking a lot of lessons from other professionals, and I just got hooked. I mean, hooked. I was like, I loved every bit of it, and I wanted to learn every step of the process. Then I bought a brood mare and raised some babies and raised them colts and got help getting them started and got help, learning that whole process. And pretty soon here I am. I've got 35 horses and I'm doing it all.
That's so cool. And not only are you doing it, but you are raising a daughter who does it too.
Yeah, she's very involved.
And how old is Grace?
She's 16.
And she is a little entrepreneur.
Yep.
She has her own leather business, right?
Yep. She makes lots of different tack and wallets, and she does the Hey Dudes and does her own personal stuff to them and sells them that way. Yeah, she's got quite the business going.
That's so cool. And she's only 16. So
Yeah.
not only are you a cowgirl boss babe, but you're raising one too. That's very neat.
Yeah,
and
she's probably she's a little tougher than I am, I think. She's very gritty.
She's a very talented little rider too.
Thank you.
She's very talented. Carrie, let's talk about what be the cowgirl you want to be looks like for you. What does that mean, or what are your thoughts around that?
Being tough and gritty and, it's early mornings, late nights, being out there and doing what needs to be done. I don't ever give up. I don't know, like my horses eat, all my animals eat before I do. I'm always first one out the door and the last one in. I don't know, it's just being tough and doing what needs to be done.
What would be, over the years, I'm sure that you've made lots of memories. What is your favorite?
My favorite memory?
In the horse?
In the horse? Like events and
Anything.
stuff? Probably raising and training that Spotlight to Fame horse that I had. I have a lot of good memories from that horse. She's gone on to do amazing things in the pro rodeo circuit, and yeah, I'll never forget those years. I raised her from a baby, and I sold her when she was 6, and I don't know, there's so many memories with that. Grace went with me to a lot of futurities, and I made lots of friends that year, and just got my foot in the door in the futurity world, and I don't know, it's just exploded since then.
That's so cool. What does it mean to be able to compete beside your daughter and a lot of the things that you do?
It is amazing. I'm really looking forward to this year because she is taking over my good horse, and I'm going to take the futurity horse I had last year, and he's been my main horse this season. He's the one that I used at the top hand. So Grace is going to take my futurity horse from a few years ago and take over the reins on her, and we're going to compete head to head at every event. I cannot wait. It's going to be fun. It'll be a good challenge for both of us.
So is it, do you get more nervous for you or her?
Definitely her. I get
Isn't
more
that
anxious
crazy?
for her, like excited to watch her go.
I don't even like to watch them anymore. Once they get to a certain point, I'm like, I'm out.
Right. Yeah, it is so fun when we both have a very competitive horse and we run within tenths apart or hundredths apart. It is really fun.
That's so cool. I think that, well, getting to compete alongside your family, or for me, getting to compete alongside my family is my favorite part. There's like nothing better than
Right,
doing
I agree. I got my mom hooked on it when I was right out of high school. So my mom competed. She still does compete with Grace and I. It's so fun when we have all three of us go for the weekend and do a 3-day show and spend the whole weekend camping and running and competing against each other and cheering each other on. It's a good time.
Yeah, I just don't think that there is anything better than doing it alongside your family. I know that it's not always easy. There's usually some fights in our little clan every once in a while, but the good definitely outweighs everything. And I don't know if it's this way for you, but sometimes Brennan and I can get after each other because he's intense. If you know him, he's intense.
Right.
And he'll get after me hard. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I can't take that when you get after me hard. And he said to me a couple weeks, I get after you hard because I believe in you so much more. I believe in you more than you believe in yourself.
Right.
And I know what your potential is. And God damn it, we're going to get it out.
Right. Yeah, Grace and I are like that. We're both very competitive and we're both working hard at it to get better. So yeah, we do tune on each other quite a bit, but that's what makes us better. So
yeah. Who's harder on who?
I don't know. I guess we're probably pretty equal. Like when we see something, we're not afraid to say something. So, but that's also what brings it to our attention. And that's why I love it when Grace is able to ride with me all the time because she also sharpens me a lot. So, I mean, she has a very good eye for a good horse and for mistakes, and she can tell you what's going on. She knows the feel. She's got better timing and feel than most kids.
That what you just said there, Carrie, is important. Riding with somebody else, like I'm not going to say you get barn blind because that's not the word for it probably, but when you ride something every day, you don't necessarily see something that somebody else does, right?
Right, hands down. And that's one big thing when I'm riding, even my personal horses. When I go to get on my personal horse, I tell myself that this is a training horse. Like, get on this horse and ride it like it is a training horse. Don't get on it and just, it's my horse. I'm just gonna let mistakes happen and not fix things. I get on it with the mindset that this is another horse that I have to work on, and it's not just a joyride. It keeps me sharper. It keeps me from letting them mistakes happen and just overlooking things.
When we ride, me and my husband ride together, we talk a lot about that too, because sometimes I tend to want to let them go a little bit, and he will be like, no, we're going to override them. So when we get to the show, then they're correct.
Right.
Like overwork their face or whatever, their sides so they do it so correct all the time. Then when they get to the show,
that show, they're accountable and you can kind of let them do their job and not have to be pulling on them
Picking.
and picking when you're at the show. You take away that anxiety at the
Yeah.
show if you can just let them do their job.
Yes, he believes the same thing. Very cool.
That is awesome.
Carrie, can you tell us something that is unique about you that our viewers may not know? And I'm sorry for maybe stealing that.
No, that's okay. I actually thought about that a lot last night. And yes, growing up on a dairy farm was one of them that a lot of people probably don't know. I didn't come from a huge horse training background. And for those of you that know me, know that I have a dog, Bling. She comes with me everywhere. Before I got Bling, I'm not going to say I didn't like dogs, but I've never been a huge dog fan. Like, they're farm. My dogs were farm dogs growing up. They just kind of existed. I can't go anywhere without Bling. She's sitting on the couch right there. If I go out that door, she's going to go with me. And that's something probably a lot of people don't realize about me at this point is I don't know if I could do life right now without that darn dog. That's changed me a lot, I guess. It's like having another child.
Yes, they have a tendency to do that.
Right.
How long have you had Bling?
We'll be 4 years in August. She was born in July, so mid-August is when I got her. And yeah, she'll be 4 years old already.
And she's a super cute little blue heeler, right?
Yeah, she is. Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
I guess I pay a lot more attention to everybody's dogs than what I used to. I just thought dogs were just farm dogs, and now it's like, no, they're a lot more than that.
They've kind of become emotional support for a lot of people.
Right. And I spend a lot of time in the vehicle. I drive an hour and 20 minutes one way, obviously 2 times a day, and she's with me every day, and at least I've got somebody to talk to.
Wow. That is a huge commitment, Carrie. Yeah, we've got 4 dogs that sleep in our bed, and so can't imagine life without a dog. I would love to know what it's not like to have to change my bedding every other day because they come in the house and go straight to my bed.
I bet.
I'm kind of over that. But yeah, they bring a lot of joy. That's cool. Carrie, could you give any advice on stepping outside of your comfort zone, mindsets, that sort of thing? Any advice to our viewers?
Don't let things bother you. Like, when you're going to an event and you're worried about who's there and who's watching, honestly, nobody has an opinion on whether you have a great run or a bad run, because we learn from both,
What would you tell the viewers to focus on instead of focusing on those things?
Focus on yourself and preparing your horse. Go in there and just compete against yourself. It's not about everybody else. It's just about you and your horse and going out there and doing your best. Nobody cares if you have a bad run or tip a barrel or miss a cow or, whatever it is in any event. Everybody wants you to succeed. Nobody's out to see you fail.
It's funny how you put those thoughts in your head, because you're exactly right. I mean, in your mind, sometimes you conjure up the thought that everybody's, out to see you fail. In reality, probably nobody really gives a shit, or they're not paying attention.
Right.
Hi, Stacey Agnew. Yeah, I thank you so much, Carrie, for joining me this morning. I know that you are super busy, so thank you for carving out the time to join us. Do you have any last minute words or wisdom that you'd like to share?
No, just keep on trying. If you need help, don't be afraid to go ask for it or go find someone that can help you. I mean, every trainer you're going to learn from, you're going to learn something different, and that's a good thing. I mean, make your own style, but get help from people if you need help. I still do. And I'm always going to do that. If I need help, I will darn sure be making phone calls and going and setting up private lessons or going to clinics or anything. Step out of your box and get after it.
I agree. Well, thank you again, Carrie. Next week, I'm super excited. She just said yes. I've got Miss Remy Greer. She is from California, and she is a cowgirl badass. She's a cowgirl boss babe. She's a mom of multiple boys. She's a professional team penner and sorter. I'm just so stoked to have Remy on with me because she's cool. We're going to talk about confidence. We're going to talk about juggling all the balls of life, being a mom, being a boss babe, being a professional, keeping everything going. So I hope that you guys will tune in next Thursday at 10 o'clock for Coffee with the Cowgirl. Me and Remy will have a really fun conversation, I'm sure. Thank you again, Carrie. I appreciate you doing this with me. I hope you had fun.
I did have fun.
Good.
Very much.
Well, I wish everybody a great weekend. I hope that the rain lets up a little bit so everybody can enjoy some time outside. Yeah, looking forward to seeing everybody next week.
Sounds
Thanks
good.
again,
Hopefully see you next weekend.
Thank you. Bye, Carrie.
Bye.